Hello, everyone. Welcome to our special fireside chat. I'm Nathalie. I worked on Ozi Voice of the Forest as a line producer, and I'm going to be the host today. Today, we're joined by two incredible talented artists from Mikros Animation who were instrumental in bringing Ozi Voice of the Forest to life. Let's explore how this project blends art with sustainability. Let's start with you, Shen. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and your role on Ozi project?
Sure, thank you for having me. I'm Sean Mullen, Associate Global Head of Animation for Mikros Animation, which means that I'm typically involved in more studio leadership and management rather than being directly involved on any individual projects. But when Ozi Voice of the Forest came along, it had such a compelling environmental theme that for me really spoke to my own love of nature, that it inspired me to really be involved in the making of the film. And I ended up getting to play a few roles as a writer, head of story, and head of character animation on it.
That's fascinating, Shen. How about you, Stefan? Can you share your experience and role on the project?
Yeah, sure. Hello, I'm Stephane Daegelen, and thank you to having me too. I'm production designer on Ozi and artistic director at Mikros Animation. For my part, the story adventure started 4 years ago. I was thrilled by the project and its committed message and its ambition to entertain the general public. Nowadays, being able to tackle such important subject in entertainment animation project is a rare opportunity. And I am now also delighted to have contributed to this project as a creative. This original movie allows us to start from the blank page and create a whole universe from the sets to the characters.
Interesting perspective from both of you. Shen, how did you integrate the environmental theme into your work, particularly across story and animation for Ozi?
Right, so in filmmaking, storytelling, it's really important to have a universal theme, at the core of the film. And that's exactly what the environmental theme is. It's universal, regardless of where you're from or who you are. At its core, it's all just about survival. No one can survive and thrive without a healthy environment to survive in, right? So with Ozi Voice of the Forest, we presented the idea of protecting the environment through the very personal lens of this young orangutan, Ozi, who loses her rainforest home and her family to deforestation when she's still just a baby. The way her home gets destroyed is really super violent, so it leaves her terrified of the rainforest, which makes her a relatable character. Lots of people have never been out to a rainforest. They find it kind of intimidating. It's got lots of stuff that can eat you, or there's stuff with venom and everything out there. So it makes Ozi's journey of facing her fears and learning to love the rainforest again a very relatable way into the environmental theme. We can really empathize with her while she's on her journey because we largely share her initial fears. And as she overcomes them, we as an audience can overcome them and grow to love the forest with her.
Indeed, that's powerful. Stefan, from your standpoint, how did your role contribute to bringing the environmental message of Ozi to life?
First of all, I think that one of the first characters that we had to develop was the rainforest itself. It was a fascinating work. We were inspired by reality as a starting ingredient by drawing on a visual bibliography or document that deal with this ecosystem. But we try to synthesize the essence of nature without falling into the pastiche of reality. We therefore work a bit backward, starting with the development of an alphabet, a graphic grammar on several scales, gigantic trees, flora, rocks, up to what we call microvegetation when we are at ground level. Once this visual grammar was established, the art team could get down to create sentences, graphic sentences with artworks. And it is through this graphic translation by combining the Ozi shape language, the lights, the palettes, as well as the framing, that through the movie, the rainforest will become a metaphor for the feeling felt by Ozi and the message that we wish to convey.
Shen, how do you think projects like Ozi can influence global environmental discussions?
Well, as much as Ozi is a relatable character for us to go on this journey with, she's also still, a wild animal who's part of this rainforest ecosystem, a place that's one of the most threatened in the world. So it makes her kind of uniquely qualified to be a face and a voice of nature itself. And she uses her voice to raise awareness and hopefully start discussions everywhere, from around the dinner table, at schools, and beyond, Ideally, those discussions lead to more understanding of the impacts of deforestation, and hopefully inspires people to work towards positive change wherever they can.
And Stefan, in your view, what impact can films like Ozi have on raising environmental awareness?
From my point of view, the vision I have for the movie that it must above all be a movie where the viewer must have a good time and where I hope have a great adventure by following the road movie of Ozi. By thus avoiding the moralizing and greedy side that certain documentaries or media can have. And it's probably another way of approaching the subject of environmental discussion, by having this poetic and positive approach. As a person, and especially as a dad, it seemed obvious to me to transmit on screen the ethical and ecological considerations that I try to share with my children on a daily basis. I'm proud that the team successfully completed this project with extremely current values.
Absolutely. Challenges are part of any creative process. Shen, can you share any challenges you faced while working on the project?
Yeah, definitely. The biggest challenge, I think, from my point of view, was making, a stylized animated film that was still grounded enough in reality for the very real environmental themes to resonate. We, of course, want audiences to leave the theater feeling entertained, but also to leave aware that this is a movie about the world we actually live in. It's not some fictional alternate cartoon reality. So while we push the story and the animation for the fun factor and to give the characters big personalities, the orangutans still move like real orangutans, and crocodiles still move like real crocodiles, So yeah, we had to do a lot of research and put a lot of effort into achieving that balance.
And Stefan, did you face any specific challenges in your role?
Oh, yes, sure. Well, like many projects on this type, we always have challenges, whether it be deadlines, the feasibility of the graphic transposition into 3D, the story we change in parallel with the production. We become a veritable tightrope walker or ship captain facing different storms. But there is one of that concern a lot of people around the world. We had to make the movie during COVID. I just finalized the design team that the next day we were all confined. We had to completely reinvent the way of communicating, of working together. In short, it was going to be a quite challenge. But we succeed. During COVID, the world stopped turning, we stopped traveling, and nature took back these rights. We start to hear more about the animals, and we wasn't surprised to see certain species returning to desert town. And in a certain way, it resonates with the movie.
The role of artists in addressing environmental issues is crucial. Stefan, what's your personal take on this?
Oh, for me, it was evident throughout the project, and I think I felt the love and motivation that everyone put into from the moment they were involved in the development or production. Quite simply, we didn't work to indirectly sell toys or any product. We were to entertain, but by putting meaning into it.
And Shen, your thoughts?
Basically, throughout all of human history, storytelling has been at the core of how we communicate and learn. So as artists in the film industry, telling stories is what we've devoted our lives to. So we have kind of the special privilege to be able to spread positive messages to the whole world through these stories we tell. And with Ozi in particular, with its environmental theme, it became a real passion project for everyone involved. It's just a subject that's so relatable on a really deep primal level.
As we wrap up, any final thoughts for our audience, especially the young artists? Let's start with you, Stefan.
For young artists, I would have one piece of advice. Train, obviously, but above all, observe and watch what others are doing. When I was studying at Art Decorative School in Paris, I had outside teaching, but what enriched me the most was the diverse responses of others to a problem. This is what allowed me to do a little pirouette and make the link with the ecology. It is also together by listening and observing others that we will become stronger.
And Shen, your parting words?
Well, I would just say, especially for young artists, really just find your passion, what's meaningful and important to you on a very personal and visceral level, and use your art as much as you can to say what you believe needs to be said.
Thank you so much for this insightful conversation, both. Your work on Ozi Voice of the Forest is not just an artistic achievement, but a beacon of hope for sustainability.